Freedom, that is the keyword that Filipinos nowadays use as a trademark for national prosperity. We are free thanks to Rizal, who brought about the truth and awoke all the Filipinos disenchanted by the Spanish rule. We think that that has been the absolute victory in the whole history of the Philippines, as though we can never create such life-altering events again. But we tend to neglect the fact that the things Rizal experienced in his time are the same things we experience today, just with different people and different circumstances. It's the same with the movies. They come in different genres and storylines, and they include characters, like different kinds of heroes and villains, but they all have the same goal, to deliver a story and convey a message. I have my own story, as do every one of you, though of course my problems are different from yours. I have my own variation of villains, and I would often learn how to overcome my villains through the things I've read from books and the things I've watched from movies. And sure, the villains in our own stories are not exactly an evil warlock or a giant sea monster, but they are enemies nonetheless. We feel the same way as how the characters feel from their enemies. We feel threatened. We feel the same way as how they do when they're with their loved ones. We feel safe, we feel happy. Our world is different from theirs, but we still learn from them. We feel the same things as the characters. Their stories are a mere reflection to ours, and the lessons they portray can be applied to what we experience in the real world. Our stories may differ from one another, but we learn from each other through words, connections, and communication. Rizal may not be fictional, he may not be a character from a novel, and he may not have come from another dimension, but he was someone who lived in another timeline. Be that as it may, we still learned a lot from him. He had left us with an awful lot of wisdom and truths, and his saying, "The youth is the hope of the nation," is one of them. People have come up with various interpretations of this motto. However, for me, it meant one thing. The youth symbolizes the new generation. It is us who exist today who have all the power to change what has been going wrong with our nation. The glory days of Rizal and his colleagues are over. Today we are faced with new challenges. We are faced with a new villain. Therefore, we have new minds, new ideas, and new approaches, and we have to make use of them. Rizal is already outdated, if you ask me. His life and works are being taught in universities only as a way for us to reminisce about the events of Philippine history and to celebrate the freedom we earned after hundreds of years of oppression. We read about him and his works to know about our past, and it is with our past that we can determine what we need to improve in the present. To make Rizal obsolete is not for us to disregard his passion and sacrifices for the Filipinos. It is not for us to forget about his novels and his heroism. It is for us not to dwell on a hero who has already defeated a once existing villain. After all, we are capable of generating a new hero, a new Rizal, and perhaps even a better Rizal. And I think that starts with you. It starts with every one of us. The least we can do is to carry his legacy and bring along with us the essence of nationalism, which is the ultimate lesson he embarked on us all Filipinos. Freedom was a foreign word. It is something that Rizal had brought upon the oblivious Filipinos. But I do believe the people of our generation can come up with new concepts that are relevant to today's stories. Rizal and his works will forever be remembered, but it is time to create our own literature and our own history.